this is example 3 on page 355. Example 3, statisticians use various models to make predictions about population growth. Ontario's population in 100,000s can be modeled by the relation P equals 0.007 x squared plus 0.196x plus 21.5, where x is the number of years after 1900. Using this model, what was the province's population in 1925? And the second question, when will Ontario's population reach 15 million? So here, just making a note that we've got x representing number of years after 1900. Okay, so you're going to have to subtract 1900 from 1925. So in this first question, when we're just answering part A, we're going to be using x is 25. Right, so we're going to be using x is 25, and we got that by doing 1925 minus 1900. So we know that 25 years have passed. So what we do is we place it into the equation, the modeling, the growth model equation. And that's going to be P is the population, right? 0.007. And I'm just going to leave that blank to put in that x plus 0.196. Again, leaving a blank for that x plus 21.5. Just using a different color to indicate that 25 years. And then when I want to punch it into the calculator, what I'm going to get is, and you can use Desmos for this, that's going to come out as 30.775. Now, remember that the population is being expressed in 100,000. So what we have to do is we have to multiply. We have to multiply this by 100,000. So the actual population in 1925, if I multiply these two numbers, will actually be 3,077,500 people at that time. So that's part A. What about part B? When will Ontario's population reach 15 million? So when will they reach 15 million? So that's the second question here. We're looking for 15 million. How many years is it going to take? You could take a guess. Is it going to be 75 years? Is it going to be 80 years? We don't know. So we're going to go back, use that equation that's going to model growth. Okay. And where do you suppose we're going to put this number 15 million? Where do you think we're going to put this number 15 million? Are we going to put it in X? Nope. Well, because X represents years. Are we going to put in P? Yes, but we have to tweak it a little bit. Okay. So because everything is in, remember we said it's in 100,000s. So we basically kind of have to ask, like, how many 100,000s can go into that? How many 100,000s can go into that? So one quick trick, I could actually just divide this. This is a quick trick. I can just cancel the zeros. Those two cancel. Those two cancel. And so forth. And then what I'm left with is 150. So P is going to be 150. And then I copy all that out. And because this is kind of an ugly looking equation, I do need to get rid of this 150 to set one side to 0. So let's do that first. So I'm going to subtract 150 on both sides, and then this right side is going to come up to be negative 128.5, but I don't think I can factor this one. So I'm going to need a little bit of help. What do you think we can do to get to the answer? Well, we're going to use the quadratic equation, which is our friend in need when we're kind of stuck, and it is our last resort. So factoring makes things easy, as you saw in example 1. Sometimes, boom, you can get to the answer right away. But here it doesn't look like we're going to be able to factor this easily because we got a lot of decimals. So let's just use the quadratic equation. So I can see that a value here is actually 0.007. Let me just be able, and then our b value is actually 0.196, and our c value is negative 128.5. So our very friendly quadratic equation, you should be able to say this out from memory because we've practiced with this quite a lot. So negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So hopefully that's not, you're not waking up in the middle of the night yelling the quadratic equation, but hopefully you do remember it pretty well by now. So let's plug everything in. In fact, you know what I like to do? I'm going to use my eraser. I'm going to use my eraser, so a here. I can put the a in. And I can put a c as well. So negative 128.5. And b is going to be 0.19. Oops, I don't know. I keep writing the wrong digit there. 196. And same thing for here. 0.196, but make sure you get that negative in the front. Okay, so if I crunch that and get it down to be slightly a little bit more simplified, that whole inside there, you should get 3.636 divided by 0.014. I'm going to produce two different answers. Why are there two different answers? Because of this nice thing here, this plus or minus. So my calculator is going to tell me I got negative 150.20. And then my other answer is 122.20. Now, what the heck? This makes no sense. I can't have negative population. I don't think that the population went down in Ontario by that much. There's no way. So this is what we call extraneous. Not very useful. Okay? So we need to convert this into years after 1900, which is pretty simple and straightforward. That means the population of Ontario will be 15 mil. Just add those two numbers together in about 2022. And heck, that's pretty close. So that's how you do question 3.